Greetings folks, and welcome once again to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today on the 27th of December 2019 in what is officially known as the Twixmas period, which is the period between Christmas Day and New Year's Day. You know, that lull that you have after all the madness of Christmas Day. And I'm just sat on a bit of a random car park here. I've been out with little Toby. You know, Mrs H has kicked me out so she could do a little bit of tidying up. So she kicked the boys out, sent us on a few errands, and I've been and done those. I thought, we'll have our dinner. So I've pulled in at Asda, pulled in at one of the child, parent and baby parking spaces, looked in the rear view mirror, and he's thought, cheers Toby lad, I haven't had anything to eat yet, but never mind. So we've had to pull off. I'll come here somewhere quiet, which is on this car park, let him sleep it off, and then we'll go and have our dinner a little bit later on. So folks, I hope your Christmas day went swimmingly. Ours did. Ours wasn't too bad, but I'll be honest with you, Hot Potters, I'm glad it's all over with now, by the shouting, as my mother used to say. You know, it's nice seeing family at Christmas, but there's a reason why you don't live with them anymore, isn't there? And you plonk yourself in the close proximity for about 8 hours, and you're ready to rip the bloody throats out, aren't you, by the end of the day? I'm always glad, when it becomes that time of day when you look up at clock and you think, yeah, they'll be making tracks in a little bit, And they reach for the coats and say, right, we're going to get off now. Oh, so soon. And then the moment you close the door after you've waved them off, you breathe a sigh of relief. Glad they've gone. Because it is a lot of hard work, isn't it, Christmas Day, when you come to think, for what, an hour? Because that's as long as it lasts, really. That's eating your meal and opening all gifts and everything as well. It's a lot of effort just for that one day. But we do it, don't we? Year in, year out. We go and do it. I think what I don't really like about it is the pressure that's there. I mean, we tend to host it, me and Mrs H, simply because we're the ones with the most space. And we have my father round, and we have Mrs H's mother and father round, my in-laws. But regarding my own father, he's in his 80s now, and there's nothing worse than having elderly relatives round, is there? Because what they tend to do is, if they're being honest, they'd rather not bother with it. They'd rather just stop in and watch It's a Wonderful Life, wouldn't they, with Jimmy Stewart, or, Scrooge, the original, with Alistair Sim, the black and white one. So they're a little bit resentful when you pluck them out of the natural environment and you say, come up for Christmas Day with us and see little Toby and that. Because they can't be bothered with it. They've done it all, haven't they? So, I think they just want to stay in. So, in a roundabout way, I'm not saying they punish you, but they're a little bit cantankerous. And like my father, I'm going to honour you with my presence, but I'm not going to lift a finger. I'm not going to offer to do any washing up, remove any plates from the table or anything like that. I'm just going to sit here and you can wait on me hand and foot all day. And then I'll turn round afterwards and have the cheek to say, I'll be glad when it's all over. And all my father has to do really is wrap a few gifts that we go out and buy for him. Me and Mrs H, we buy our own gifts type of thing. Mrs H will buy mine and I'll buy Mrs H's. Take it down there and say, wrap that up and bring it up on Christmas Day with you. And then Mrs H's in-laws goes and picks him up. So he doesn't even have to bother about that. He's ferried to our house and taken back and has the cheek to say, I'll be glad when it's all over. And you think, I mean, he asked me what did I want this year, and I thought, I'll make it easy for you. I said, just get me a pair of wellies, Dad, a bog standard pair of wellies. My old ones are leaking, and when I'm taking dogs out and I go and make my films and that, and it's muddy, I could do with a new pair. Yeah, all right, leave it to me, lad. Leave it to me, he says. And then he's on phone, because he always rings me up in the morning, so I know that he's okay, because obviously he lives on his own now. And he starts off about these, I can't find them anywhere, and it's like, Dad, I've not asked you to forget the hardest thing in the world, just a pair of bog standard wellies, size 9. And that's what I mean, that's what spoils it. That's what spoils Christmas Day for me, all that pressure. And then you get into, you've got to get your other half something, and they always do this, don't they, other halves, and you say, what do you want for Christmas? Oh, I don't know, I'm not really bothered. Yeah, right, I'm going to go down that road. I'm really going to risk that one. miserable face through New Year, no thank you. Or they'll say, just surprise me. Doesn't have to be anything special, just surprise me. I'll be like what? You know, I've been giving you hints all year, and in fairness, they probably have. They've been dropping big hints all year, but us blokes, we tend to just live in the moment, don't we? We don't live in the future. We're not thinking about, you know, next birthday or next big event. We're just living in that moment, so you can't remember. And you end up buying something naff, don't you? You always end up buying something naff. Or I end up pestering Mrs H until she finally just says, oh, get me that. You know, and spoils it a bit, doesn't it? Because they always seem to have a sixth sense with this. It's just something that's sort of inbuilt in them, and they know exactly what to get. Where us blokes, we leave it and leave it and leave it as well. I think that's another thing. Because you leave it to lastminute.com, don't you? And you're rushing out, you're scrambling around trying to buy something. And in fairness, we've no excuse now because it's all online, isn't it? You can just tap it all in and get your stuff online, get it delivered to your door. You don't even have to bother with all crowds, but we don't. We'll leave it till last minute, and then we're scrambling round, aren't we? At Mr. Patel's 24 Mini Mart or some service station open. We're going to find that perfect gift, and you'll see all the blokes there zombified. They're manically looking round as well. No good, no good. And for me, before you know where you are, you find yourself back at work as well, don't you, with Christmas? Before you know it, you're back at work and you think, where did those 4 days, a week, fortnight, whatever you've took off, where have they gone? I don't feel like I've had an holiday. But in a roundabout way, you're glad to be back at work because it's normality and you don't have to bother with it anymore. No more nipping up to Auntie Flo's and making sure that you've seen her, and people you haven't seen all year round, and you've no intention of seeing them following year until Christmas time again. You know, you don't have to deal with any more leftovers from turkey or anything. It's all done with. Because should you still have some left over, you do the old, no, I won't lose a bit. I'll put a little bit on over Christmas, so I won't lose a bit. You know, so I'm not having any more of it. New Year's resolution and all that. Wonder how many gym memberships will go unused after February, Hot Potters. That's another one, isn't it? But it's just a mad day. It really is. It's a lot of hard work, as I say. Or maybe I'm just grumpy. Maybe I'm just getting grumpy in my old age. I think I can remember back when I was a kid to one classic Christmas that I had. Where I came downstairs. Father Christmas had been, you know. Excuse me. And there were 2 big bags, I'll never forget it. 2 big bags full of gifts, full of little boxes and stuff all wrapped. And it was all tat that was in it, really, looking back, you know. I've not got any of it now. But it's that wonderful, amazing feeling. And I think that's another thing. As kids, you don't have a perfect Christmas every Christmas. There's 1 or 2 good ones that you can think back to. And that's what you're chasing. You're chasing the dragon of the Christmas, you know. This is chasing the dragon when you're a druggie. That's what you're doing with Christmas. You're trying to recreate that. And you never will. You never will, sadly. It's only when you become a dad yourself, or a mother, you know, depending who's watching this, that you realise what your own parents did for you. You know, I'm sure my dad came home from work 10, 12-hour shifts as he did back then. Knackered, just wanted to crawl in bed. Well, there's a pile of gifts there that needed assembling or wrapping on Christmas Eve, and he'd have to put them out. No wonder you see them with their eyes. Think back, your mum and dad, they'd be there, bags under their eyes. It's because they were up all Christmas Eve and probably into early hours of Christmas morning, setting it all up for you. And I'm sure my dad, you know, he spent many hours getting frustrated with bits that won't clip together when they're supposed to, only to find that he needed a screwdriver, so he'd have scrapped about finding a particular screwdriver. And then when he does get it assembled, you find out battery's not included. So you're rummaging through drawers looking for some weird rhombus-shaped battery that go into it that probably costs more than toy. You know, it's funny, really. You know, the best part of it, 3 parts of us aren't religious, are we? You know, we don't do it for any other religious holiday. Yeah, must have the family round for Easter. You know, it's a big thing. You don't do it, do you? Never mind. Anyway, folks, this video's clocking on for about 10 minutes. I've been ranting on and moaning about Christmas for about 10 minutes. I think I'll entitle this one, Mr. H's Grumpy Christmas. Until the next time, folks, from myself, Mr. H, as always, and little Toby James, who's snoring away in the back. Bye-bye for now. So